started off with a goal pretty quickly. And I have to say, Crosby on the first goal is insane. Watching Nathan MacKinnon and cheering for Nathan MacKinnon, Steve, Jesse, new experience. Pretty cool.
Well, Jesse didn't cheer for Canada.
I did. No, I cheered for Canada. I was supporting my...
You know what?
I was supporting my boy, William Nylander.
You know what? Jesse should have to play this.
I was supporting my boy, William Nylander, because Fanatics was nice enough to send me a Fanatics William Nylander Team Sweden jersey, which was awesome. Mm-hmm. But yes, it's cool. It's cool rooting for Crosby. Having McDavid on your side is awesome.
You imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jesse, I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that for later. Jesse had the Sweden jersey on the entire time.
He
sat
good.
in the middle of the bar
Yep.
at Boston Pizza with that jersey on. But let's bring it back to Nathan MacKinnon for a second. Cheering just for him. Forget Crosby for a sec. Just seeing Nathan MacKinnon rushing the puck in towards the goalie. What feelings does that evoke in your soul?
I haven't watched the stream back yet, but I'm pretty sure I spent most of the opening 10 minutes laughing. Just giggling. That is such an unbelievable... Like, I'm used to watching these players with, like, dread on account of almost all of them play for not my team. Mm-hmm. Every time the Leafs play the Oilers, I don't have to... You can't look for 97. You look at the blur that looks sort of like it might be a 97 if it were standing still. And you just go, no, and you wait until the shift is over. And then hopefully it ends with him going to the bench and not you fishing the puck out of the back of your net, and then you go, ah. And then the rest of the game happens, right? Time stands still when he's on the ice against your team. Same with MacKinnon. Same with Crosby. Same with Makar. Maybe not to the same degree, but damn, Sam Reinhart's pretty good, man.
Oh, man.
And that's your top power play unit. LMAO. That first goal was McDavid to Crosby to MacKinnon. They're all first overall picks.
Top line centers on their teams.
The Canada's top power play unit is first overall pick, first overall pick, first overall pick, fourth overall pick, second overall pick.
That's great.
There's no one out of the top four.
That's great. Great.
That's so silly. And I think a lot of our goaltending concerns were confirmed by this game, but I think some of what we saw in that game showed that we might have overblown it a little bit. The rest of the team is still pretty damn good. You asked a great question, or someone in the audience asked a great question during our live show in Stouffville. Forwards, defense, goalies. Rank Canada in the tournament. Goalies is the easy four, unfortunately. Forwards? I give them one, I think. It's two at worst.
Especially the way Crosby played.
Yeah.
I mean, he had...
On the wing?
He had that first setup goal, guys. That was, for me, like vintage Crosby, in tight with the net, making something of nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And just the puck kind of just flowed through him like it was a creek, like a river. Just nothing.
Damn.
Set it up, scores, goal. It's beautiful. And I think it's kind of crazy, and I saw a lot of social, and I'm sorry, Pens fan, I do have to bring this up. There were a lot of people like, please get Sidney Crosby out of Pittsburgh.
Oh my God, play him with good players. Holy shit, it shouldn't be this difficult.
Yeah. I mean, the payroll of Team Canada is $182 million. So
it's
yeah,
insane.
It is a little difficult to get that many players together.
The one I had trouble with, and this is obviously a different conversation now that Shea Theodore is hurt and Cale Makar is sick, in both ways. Canada's defense. I said, you could convince me they're one. You could also convince me they're three, which is why I'm going to cop out and say two.
Right.
So if your forwards in D are, let's say 2 and 2 out of 4, yeah, I think you're doing okay. You could argue they're 1 and 1 and 4. They're a really, really, really good team.
Yep.
They have as good a shot to win as anyone.
Jesse, your thoughts on I guess we can talk about the whole game because I'm not going to go goal by goal necessarily like we sort of do with the Leafs in the playoffs. But Crosby on this night, McKinnon on this night, cheering for McDavid, like getting all those guys on one team and going, yeah, that's my team.
No, Crosby's got to be the focus for me to start because, like, no disrespect to the other, 600 players in the National Hockey League, but seeing these teams put together where there's no bad players on the ice, and yet Crosby's still out there being one of the best out of any of them, it just shows, like, the level he's at. And that first goal you're talking about, the one he assisted on where he's backwards doing a blind pass, and then he does the same thing in overtime where he has a blind pass to Mitch Marner. It feels like he's out there showing off. He feels like he's out there being like, hey, if anybody forgot, I'm still Sidney Crosby, and I still have it. I'm still at the top of my game. So it was really special, and it's cool to see him have that moment to start the tournament.
Well, that overtime winner to me was just him being the smartest player on the ice. Like, there's so many goals in his career where he's able to be the facilitator by sucking up so much energy. All the Americans converged on him. At this point in his career, even though he's still a ridiculously good skater, he still has some of the best edges in the league. He's not even going to really try to beat you with just outright overwhelming speed. Guys have gotten too fast. McDavid's insane. McKinnon's insane. Other guys, like even Marner, is insane. Mm-hmm. But Crosby sucks up that energy, and once he hands it off, Mitch has already read what's going on. I don't know if they talked about it beforehand, because it seemed too perfectly executed for them to not know exactly what was going on. Crosby's got one job: stay on side. Or get on side. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. And then Mitch is just friggin' leading the charge. Like, if anything, that play felt like it was designed to get a line change in.
Right.
I don't know if they meant to call game that way.
Yeah, but the genius of it is, like, Crosby started playing with Mitch Marner that day. Like, it's not like they've been playing together for 5 years, for 10 years, for 20 years. Like, they met each other on Monday, and he's making blind passes in overtime to him in the middle.
Now, Jesse, you're forgetting some. They trained together in the summer.
Right.
They trained together in the summer, and we got conflicting messages about it. Like, oh, you're making it sound like they've been training together for weeks and weeks. So it was only a couple days. It seemed to help.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Nathan McKinnon and Crosby, they have their camp out in Denver
Vail,
every year.
I think
Vail. There it is. Yeah, Vail, Colorado, every summer. And this year, Mitch Marner was there hanging out for a little bit.
Worked.
Yeah. This is the view of Crosby's first pass. Yeah, everybody's hyping up the blind one in OT, but this one is also blind to Nathan McKinnon across the ice. The awareness to know that, hey, yeah, he's over there. I'm going to go not look at where I'm passing the puck, and it's going to go through 3 defenders and past the goalie, and McKinnon's going to bury it.
By the way, that was on a William Nylander penalty for a high stick to the face of McKinnon.
Yes. Yeah, this is on the power play. And yeah, Nylander had a poor start to the game.
Yeah.
But he looked dangerous in the middle.
He did.
William Nylander.
Now, I think was to kind of fast forward after that first period, Canada being, I think they were up 2-0, and then it was 3-0 at the beginning of the second or something.
3-1.
Yeah, it never got to 3-0.
Oh, 3-1. Okay. Yeah. It seemed for the first half of that game that Canada was very much in control, and
well, they didn't allow shots, you see.
Yeah. Well, it was, what was it? 10 minutes without a shot for Sweden?
15. Sweden ended up getting, I think, 3 by the end of the first, but that's it. And they were muffins.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Now, then what happens, and this is where it kind of gets a little wild, is that Sweden starts to inch back.
Oh, yeah.
And the first one...
It should be mentioned that, like, that kind of started with Shea Theodore going down.
Yes.
Yeah, Canada was missing a defenseman.
Pretty damn
Didn't
good.
help them, for sure.
No, didn't help them. But that goal, I think it was the second goal against where the Swedish player cut across the ice. I believe it couldn't have been. I don't think it was Brodin. Maybe it was Kempe.
First goal
was Brodin.
Brodin, yeah.
And is that the one where he cut across and in, and it just kind of went through Jordan Binnington?
Yeah, you're talking about the Adrian Kempian goal where he was just in the slot and he took a shot.
Yeah.
The wrister. Yeah.
And this is where, Saturday night, Bell Center, Montreal, I have to question if this is the guy. And all the team could talk about, like, oh, he's so prepared in the preparation. Man, the preparation. Even after the game, they're like, oh, preparation.
Oh,
preparation, Jay.
I don't know if it was on the broadcast or if I could hear people from the bar. But that puck goes in and everyone went, oh, like it was not your typical, damn, we got scored on.
Yeah.
It was, yee, Jordan, that's pretty bad, man.
Now, that is true, and it was bad. I do think that even though Sweden tied it up again, Kempe and Eriksson Epp tied it up in the third. I do think that towards the end of the game, Jordan Binnington turned it on.
He did. He made some key saves, and including overtime.
You saw the goaltender that we saw win the cup in 19. A little bit.
He's chaos. A little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about it a little bit.
Well, there's not much to it.
Is he
chaos.
starting? Like, is he starting Saturday?
No. The plan was always to go Binnington Hill.
Okay.
Both of them getting the chance, yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, like, he played well enough and they got the win. You probably like that one back. The Brodeen one's not very great either, but it's from a disgusting angle. I don't blame Binnington really on it too much. I think there's also like a bit of a deflection there when it goes in. But the Kempe one, yeah, you want that back, but it's one goal. And they won, and he was good when it mattered in terms of overtime in the end of the game there.
He was. And end of the game, friggin', it's an odd man rush for Sweden. Who's the defender back? It's not a defender. It's Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
Mitch helped prevent it at one end, stymieing his buddy Willie, and then he ends it at the other end. Mm-hmm. Listen, so you were laughing. You guys were both laughing really hard because you kept hearing me every time you walked by me doing the stream. It sounded like I was bashing Marner the whole time.
Well, there were people bashing.
Because the comment section, I was reading it and everyone was all over him.
Yeah, and you were fueling it because you don't.
I was not fueling it.
You said, "Hey, screw you, Mitch. Get off Team Canada."
Steve kept saying weirdly, "Hey, what'd you think of that Mitch Marner shit, guys?"
That was Jesse going, "What happened to Nate there? What happened to Nate?"
I heard Steve yell a couple times, "Where's 16?"
Whoa! How
16
dare
out there on the ice.
How dare you? Listen, I don't think he had a bad game. The first half of it was maybe quiet, but like that falls on the whole line. Mm-hmm. Like Reinhart, McDavid, Marner, it didn't really feel like that line did a whole hell of a lot unless
It didn't work.
No, it didn't work
No.
for me. And like it felt like the only time I got out of my chair, even though I stood the whole time, was McDavid just going, I'm going to do it all myself.
Yeah, I don't think McDavid and Marner's games complement each other.
No,
I don't think they should be on the same line.
No, it's a good point.
It sounds like a massive demotion, but like it depends on how your coach manages the bench.
Look at the players.
I know. Look at the play. I love the idea of Marner, Cirelli, Hagel because that to me is a line with a clear purpose. They're going to skate you into the dirt. They got good defensive ability, and they can score on you too at will, pretty much. Who do you put up with McDavid then?
You're taking off Point. Right?
Taking off. No, because Point's with Marchand. And
No, because they were running the Cirelli Point, like the all Tampa line, were they not? For a little?
maybe for a little.
Okay.
They didn't start the game with that.
No, they didn't start the game for sure.
Either way, it looks like Konechny's probably not going to play, so he's the odd man out. So I thought the way that line started, if I'm not mistaken, was Hagel, Cirelli, Konechny.
Mm-hmm.
So Konechny to me is, easy. You just take him off, throw Marner in. So who gets the bump to McDavid's line? Is it Seth Jarvis? I don't know. It's an interesting thought exercise because you look at who McDavid always plays with. It's like usually insane goal scorer and grinder type who can also score. Hyman, right? Perry at times this season. So playing the role of Leon Draisaitl tonight is his understudy, Sam Reinhart, right? Okay, that's easy. Mitch? I don't know.
Feels like you got what are those little emoticons or whatever they put next to players' names and NHL?
Oh, like the early 2000s ones,
Yeah.
the hammer and the
And
stick
there's like
and
the fire and the whatever. Like if they're fast or what, it feels like you got two passers.
McDavid scored 60.
Yeah,
He's deceptive. He's deceptive like that.
But like,
No, I know what you mean.
he scored 60. How many assists did he have that year? 110 or something like that? 100.
He probably had more assists than goals, which is psycho.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
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 And that's my point, right?
Yeah.
Is that here, look, here.
What a nut job. What an alien from
I don't
outer
know.
space.
To say, what did he have? He had 72 assists like last year. He had 100 assists 2 years ago. So like when we talk about McDavid and we talk, no, it was last year he had 100 assists. The year before he had 89.
Bum!
So I know that Connor McDavid can score goals. My point is that he also racks up a lot of assists.
Yeah.
And until overtime, and as a Leaf fan, you know this, Mitch doesn't love to shoot.
Not like
Reinhart does.
more surprising than I'm less surprised that the shot went in than I am that he took it.
Because he has a great shot and it's deceptive and doesn't use it enough.
He charged in 1-on-3 alone. Like, who did he even have with him?
Crosby passed it to him, but that was it.
Crosby was like heading off.
For
I don't even know who the other player on the ice was. Right. So listen, it's Team Canada. They're friggin' ridiculously stacked up front. They're gonna be fine. That line just didn't do it for me. And it has nothing to do with any one player having a bad game.
Right. Now,
Nothing to do with it.